go back to the 90s!
Boom shakalaka!
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
My flows hit you at straight 88 miles per hour, that's enough to generate 1.21 gigawatts, son, and I'm on the run from the Libyans. It was a straight jack move for plutonium, and when they van rolls up, it's pandemonium. 1:18 a.m. at Twin Pines Mall is when I can pinpoint my total downfall. Now they say that
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Nostal-Ged. We are just days away from the return of the mighty Morphin Power Rangers in Once and Always on Netflix on April 19th, Wednesday morning. I cannot wait. I cannot put into words how much I love the mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I remember it used to be on Live and Kicking, first thing in the morning on Saturday mornings. Your parents would still be asleep. You'd sneak downstairs and stay quiet, pour yourself a big old bowl of Weetabix and watch the most insane show ever. It was a mix between the Three Ninjas. It was like Saved by the Bell and Transformers at the same time. And there have been more Power Rangers, in fact a lot of Power Rangers, since the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but it was never as good. It has never been as good, and I am so happy that the boys are coming back for a new series on Netflix. So let's do it. My top 10 favourite Power Rangers characters.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
I don't want to jump the gun and ruin the list already, but there is actually more bad guys than there is Power Rangers in this list. And she is one of the coolest bad guys, one of the best looking bad guys. Scorpina, the human scorpion mix, one of Rita's best creations. Amazing bad guy in the Power Rangers lore. Weird one though, because when I started researching this video, obviously I was looking up videos and photos of Scorpina and Goldar, and man, there is a lot of erotica and fanfiction with them pairing to be found on the internet. Maybe I'm just naive, but yeah, don't search Goldar and Scorpina too much.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
Yeah, probably not a pair of names you were expecting to see in a top 10 favourite Power Rangers characters list, but Bulk and Skull were the comic relief for the series. The school bullies, they got their comeuppance at the end of every episode. I get that they look like they're in the 30s and they're in high school, but they prevented the moments when the Rangers weren't rangering from being dull, the moments in the school. They kept it ticking along, and a key part of what made me love Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Bulk and Skull are in the list, and they deserve to be in the list.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
Aye, aye, aye. Zordon's robot life partner, Alpha 5, he makes the list, and he deserves to make the list. Mostly used as a plot device throughout the series to move the story along, obviously introducing the bad guys. But I love Alpha 5. I've got a little Alpha 5 on my desk at work, and he is one of my favourite characters. Also, a great version of Alpha 5 in the 2017 film, with Bill Hader being Alpha 5. I love that film as well. But yeah, Alpha 5 makes the list.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
The Emperor of Evil, Lord Zed. This guy, he came into it in the second season, and he took over as the leader of the bad guys for a while. He is the coolest looking character on the series. He is built like a unit. That mask, his brain poking out the top. From that moment that he arrived when he first appeared on the moon, you knew the Power Rangers had a formidable bad guy to take down. I love Lord Zed, probably one of my favourite bad guys in all of TV.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
Rita's right-hand guy, Goldar, he was a legitimate threat anytime that he came up against the Rangers. Usually you'd have like special bad guys every week that Rita would create, but then occasionally Goldar would go down and fight the Rangers, and when he did, he would whoop them. Homeboy looked like a mix between a cat and a bird, an Egyptian pharaoh. Such a cool looking character. One of the first figures I got when I started collecting Rangers figures when I was a kid, because of course you needed a bad guy for your Rangers figures to fight, and nobody looked cooler as a figure than your boy Goldar. Yo, we are already halfway at number 5, and it's only the first appearance by an actual Power Ranger. Your body popping Power Ranger, the Black Ranger, Zack. But there was more to Zack than his body popping, fighting Krav Maga style. He was a great friend, a great ranger, great guy, deserves to be the first ranger on this list, and I cannot wait to see him back in Once and Always. Not just the greatest bad guy in Power Rangers history, but possibly one of the greatest bad guys in kids' Saturday morning TV. Rita Repulsa, it was the first voice you heard before the intro on Saturday mornings. Why is she ranked so high above most of the Power Rangers? It's because she wasn't just the bad guy. She was the creator of bad guys. Her and a putty men, and then every week she would create a new bad guy. She ruled over badasses like Goldar, Scorpina, Lord Zed. She was amazing in the film with Ivan Ooze. Played by a few different actresses, but always badass, Rita Repulsa deserves to be ranked this high. Growing up, when you'd be playing Power Rangers with your friends, everybody wanted to be Tommy, or Zack, or Jason. Didn't nobody want to be Billy. And now, Billy is one of my favourite characters of all time. He was the brains and the heart of the team, but he could still kick ass too. All these years later, people still like characters like Trini and Zordon and Jason. Well, people love Billy. People remember Billy so much more, and I think I know what it is. It's David Yost in his acting. He makes Billy so likeable and relatable that people just fall in love with him like I did. And it's down to David Yost why we're getting the Power Rangers back. He pushed it through, and I cannot wait to see him back in Once and Always on Wednesday morning. Kimberly, the pink Power Ranger. She was every boy's first crush, along with Jet from Gladiators and Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. There was so much more to Kimberly though. Now, nobody would go out their way to call me a feminist, but Kimberly made it cool for guys to play with pink dolls, for Christ's sake. She was as good a leader as Jason. She was as smart as Billy. She was as kick-ass as Tommy. She deserves to be ranked up right up there with the greatest Power Rangers of all time. I love Kimberly. She's one of my favourite characters, but not my favourite Power Rangers character. Yo, this was a tougher list to make than I thought it was going to be, having to leave out characters like Jason and Trini and Zordon, making decisions to put in more bad guys than good guys. It was tough, but picking number 1 was the easiest decision I have ever made on this channel. It was Tommy, and it was always going to be Tommy. I've spoke about this before in our top 10 TV bad guys. Go back and watch that if you haven't. Where I actually prefer Tommy as the Green Ranger than the White Ranger. The fact that they had to stretch that story out over 5 episodes on a Saturday morning kids show, 5 episodes, you had to get up first thing every Saturday morning to see what was going to happen with Rita's creation, the Green Ranger Tommy. Had the Power Rangers finally met their match? And then coming back later as the White Ranger, surpassing Jason as the leader and everybody's favourite character. There was just something so cool about him. His uniform was cooler than the others. He had that kick-ass sword flute thing. His Megazord was a friggin' dragon. And of course, I have to mention Jason David Frank. We all miss him. He was an amazing person. He loved being a ranger. He came back so many times. He was so dedicated to the series. And he was so amazing with the fans at Comic-Cons. We miss Jason David Frank so much. Don't want to get too emotional, but the White/Green Ranger is my favourite. But of course, as always, that is why we call it top 10 favourites, not top 10 best. I would say, if I'm wrong, but I think everybody pretty much would have Tommy, if not first, at least top 3. But let me know in the comments section, should I have put more Power Rangers in than bad guys. I don't know. I always prefer the bad guys, especially when they look as cool as like Scorpina and Goldar and Lord Zed. They just look cool as hell. Are you all going to be tuning in to see Once and Always on Netflix on Wednesday? I'll probably end up doing a little review / what the hell just happened video. But I'm going to pop off now and I'm going to go watch those 5 kick-ass episodes at the end of Series 1 where the Green Power Ranger whoops on the original Power Rangers. I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye.